Hello, this is Arnold Tanyag with Canyon Company. We're a business advising consulting firm. This is our video podcast for the month of November. Tanyag Company provides results-driven consulting for small businesses by helping them double their income to build a lifestyle and not just a business. Today's topic is how to finish 2016 strong and have momentum going into 2017. Now, let me tell you a quick story. I was a B&I director almost 18 plus years ago. And I remember every last quarter of the year when I first started, I just had a good year, 1 year. The last quarter, I just kind of just let the year go. I was finishing up strong. I wasn't really focusing on doing anything new for the following year. I was just on the holiday season. I was like, wow, time off, this and that. I can go see family. I can get some work, bring in some sales. And that quarter was great. But guess what happened the first quarter of the following year? It was slow. It literally so. It took me 90 days of the first quarter to get back and ramped up. And then that whole year, I was totally behind. I felt rushed behind. And the reason I felt rushed and behind is because I didn't realize it takes 90 days to build momentum. So I was having momentum in the third quarter going into the fourth quarter, and I was riding that wave. And I didn't really build any momentum going into the quarter the following year, and it was just really slow. And I was coasting through. So I paid the price the following year. So that same year, I got smart. So I remember when I was the B&I director, I had mapped out a plan for the quarter for November, December, and January. I set up visitors days, contests, and I went to a bunch of network events. I increased visitors, and I actually had a phenomenal fourth quarter and a phenomenal first quarter because I had momentum going in. Because here's how to finish 2016 strong and have momentum going in 2017. You have to really know that in our area, we have the holiday season that falls after Thanksgiving and goes out until January 2nd. But here's the other big whammy that that we're going to experience is an election year. It's a president election year. When there's a president election year, normally what people do is they stop spending any new money into the first quarter. So and I was just listening to a video by David Gregg with the First Class Real Estate, and he said, most real estate agents are just slowing down when they should be ramping up. And I agree with him 100%. You got to be ramping up. All my clients right now are reevaluating their goals for November, December, and January, and then what they're really doing is writing their goals for the first quarter of the year. But the first quarter of the year is November, December of this year, and January. Because what we want to do is have momentum going into 2017, so they have deals closing in January and some deals in February. So when they come back from vacation, they're riding a wave up versus starting to build that wave. Because when there's a president election, like back in 2008, it was slow. So that's how you're going to finish this 216 strong, is understanding that we're going into a last quarter of the year, but it's not there to slow, it's to ramp up. Because here's the question you have to ask yourself. By end of January 31st, do you want momentum knowing that you got a high going in 2017, or do you want to go, oh my God, it's slow and it's going to take me a while to build? Where do you want to be? Think about where do you want to be. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you some ways to finish 2016 strong and have momentum going in 2017. Number one, set your goals and objectives for the quarter starting November 1st to January 2017. Look at it, and you have to create some kind of urgency. Look at if you could double your income in these 90 days, right? What would those numbers be? Like, for example, how many people do I have to talk to on a weekly basis to double my income? Like, for example, if you're talking to 6 people a week, you need to just talk to 12 people a week. So you got to really write your goals objectives for November, December, and January, and then look at your numbers and double it. Now, if you double, great. If you just increase by 30%, 20%, that's better, because here's the thing is, most people are coasting through the holiday, not increasing during the holiday. If you double your income, or you increase by 30%, 40%, if you double, you get 30%, you're going to be ahead of the game. If you just coast through and try to start this process in the first quarter, man, it's going to be difficult because everybody is still coming from the holidays, from paying Christmas and all those extra bills, but it's election year. They don't know what they're going to do, what's going to happen in the Capitol and all that. So I really believe that you set your goals and objectives, look at your numbers, and figure out how many people you have to talk to on a day-to-day, weekly basis. Number two is schedule your days off. And schedule your working days. So if you're taking off Thanksgiving, if you're taking off Christmas, New Year's, schedule that now. Like schedule your days off. Like I'm going to take 3 days off. I'm going to take 2 days off. Schedule your work days. Really look at scheduling your days through the quarter. Because what you can do is it's all about scheduling. Like, so for example, if you're going to take 2 days off, like the day before Christmas, the day before Thanksgiving, I'm going to set a bunch of one-to-ones. I mean, there's a lot of people in town. If they're not going out of town, I'm going to work probably half day or all day to just basically do some one-to-ones and go in the office and do some work because I'm going to keep momentum going. I want to keep the process moving. Because you want to schedule your off days, your vacation days, and your work days. It's interesting. Thanksgiving falls on the 24th. Christmas falls on Sunday, and New Year's falls on Sunday. New Year's Day falls on Sunday. So that basically means is that people are going to be here a week before they leave, and then they're going to be a week here back. So that's an advantage for us because if Christmas followed on midweek, people will be already out. And Christmas seems to be more of the major holiday. New Year's Day, people are not. They don't see that. That's just it's a minor holiday, and people get back to work. But the whole idea is you got to map out your vacation days, your work days, and you're working on your business days. Number three is have this attitude of being shameless, fearless, and urgent during this quarter. Shameless, one of the things I ain't done before. Fearless, what I got to do to be fearless, and urgent. Because if you have those three qualities, shameless, fearless, urgent, during this quarter, no double. I do this talk every time in November, and then and I hear a bunch of people say they took my advice, and the following year they actually they come back in January and goes, oh my God, Arnold, I doubled. I had the best quarter, I had the best end of the year, and I had momentum going on. You were so right. Because what happens is you just can't just plot the numbers. You got to be shameless, fearless. You got to get out there and look at that three qualities. Number four, prepare to handle the objections you receive during the holiday season by using feel, felt, and found approach. You're going to find a lot of people are going to say, I love to meet with you, but I want to meet with you next year. Well, your response is, hey, I understand how you feel. I found that most people want to wait till next year because they want to enjoy the holiday season. And I understand that. Hey, I found that. I understand. I understand. I understand how you feel, and I find. I understand. And that's what people want to do, and I get it. But I found out that if I can meet with people now, we can go over the goals. We can share each other goals and objectives, and we can start helping each other now and be ready for 2017. So how about it? Can we go ahead and meet? Because you're going to have a lot of people give you many reasons why not to meet. So you're going to have to be able to use the feel, felt, and found. Now, usually and I'll make it simple, is, okay, I understand what you're going through. Here's what I experienced in the past, and here's what I believe will help us in the future. So that's what I use, because here's the thing is, you're going to have a lot of people don't want to meet, whatever the reason, don't want to do sales of that, and you're going to be able to have to answer that objection. And so what I usually tell people is write down every objection that you may get that's coming up and decide how to counter it through the feel, felt, and found approach. Because if you're not going to be able to handle objections, it doesn't matter if you have all these goals and you mapped out. If you can't handle how people are going to say no, or a lot of people are going to say no because they're going to get caught up in the holiday spirit. They're going to get up but they don't want to lose focus. So like a lot of things I'm going to say to people, hey, look, I know you've been really busy this day. Hey, can we get together one-to-one? Because I'd like to see what your goals are and see if we can help each other, get a good idea. So we'd be ahead of the game for the first of the year, because I'm finding a lot of people are just not want to meet. And then, when they get the first of the year, things are slow. I don't want that to happen to us. What do you think we should do? Oh, yeah, we should meet. Because all I'm doing is talking about, hey, I understand how I feel. Here's what I found out in the past. Here's where I want to go. And 9 out of 10 people are open to it. And if they don't want to meet right now, this and that, okay, then we go first year. But I want to have, if I'm talking to 20 people in the month of December, I want to have one-to-one meetings. I only want 1 or 2 to go. There are 18 I want to meet with. Number 5 is map out your social events you'll attend during the holiday season, because most people come out for social events during the holiday season, either personal or professional. You'll find out there's going to be a lot of events, parties, events. I mean, oh my Lord, there's going to be a bunch of stuff out there. So map out which ones you're attend. Map out which ones are going to be beneficial for you, that will work out for you. Because the biggest challenge with most people is that if you don't map it out, then you're going to be busy, or you're going to miss out, or you'll be overwhelmed. So look at the events coming up in November or December, and you can attend, like there's Christmas parties, open houses, end of the year events. I mean, there are some great things to attend. And if it's a corporate party, it's even better because most people come out for corporate parties. I mean, people come out to have fun. And the amazing thing is, it's a great way to connect with people, either to meet with them this November, December, or reset a meeting with them in January. Number 6 is give yourself a big why. A big why answers the question, why do you want to double? You know, because if you can double by the end of the quarter, which ends January 31st, what will allow it to do in terms of your lifestyle? You're not going to do it because I tell you to do it. You're going to have to find a reason why. You're going to have to find something that really, truly has meaning. So, like for example, if everybody close their eyes, if they could double their income knowing it's the holidays, what would it allow them to do if they had a little bit more money and they could take more time? And then it's usually not the first answer; it's usually the third or fourth answer. What could they do? I mean, for example, we were going to my son's graduation in October because he graduated the Air Force. So for like 4 months, we had planned to save a bunch of money, and we did all. And I was focused and getting the business in, and my wife was saving money. We're saving money, and we did it. It was amazing. I mean, income didn't go down. We're focused like a laser because we wanted to go to San Antonio. We wanted to see our son graduated, and we all did, and we had fun, great. We even rented a house, and because we were focused, we had that big why. We didn't want to disappoint him. We had enough time to save money, and we did it, and it was amazing. We had that big why. What's that why we wanted to do it? Number 7, the last one is have some type of accountability for you and your business during this time so you don't lose focus for your goal and objective for this quarter. It's so easy to lose focus, especially with the holidays. So have some type of accountability, and that basically means, if you have someone in your office who you respect, who will hold you accountable, get that person. But I find out it's really hard if you're not paying somebody, because if they're not that type of person to hold you accountable, it's always good to pay somebody to hold you accountable, because sometimes the initial investment of paying that person will outlay the results you get, meaning that the results will be double, triple. So you have to get some type of accountability, because I find out when people are accountable, especially during the busy season, because the hardest thing in finishing 2016 and have momentum going into 2017 is the willing to say no, and the willing to know what path you're going to follow, and the willing to be focused. And if you do all the tips I recommend and really have that why and map out your schedule and handle the objections and know your numbers, there's no reason you can't double or at least get a 25-30% per increase. But here's the most important thing. By the end of January 31st, 2017, you already have deals closing, you have deals moving in, and that's a better position to be in business going into 2017 than living off a good year in 2016 and start 2017 slow. Because it takes about, from my experience, 90 days to build momentum. So if you're building momentum now, you're going to have a good shot at doing well. The clients I personally work with, my company, Tanyag Company, we're all having conversations this quarter, and we're going to ramp up the business. And about 80% of them will listen to me and say, okay, we'll do it. A lot of them may not. That's their choice. That's their prerogative. But the ones who will have a great 2017, because it's an unknown with the election. It's an unknown with the holiday season, how people feel. And the only thing we control is our activity, our belief, our mindset, our attitude, our work ethic, the support we need to grow. And I tell my clients, if they would just do those things, things will move ahead. So again, this is Arnell Tanyag with Tanyag Company. We're a business advising consulting firm. If you have any questions or comments you want to call me, you can reach me on my cell phone, 757-754-6918, 757-754-6918. Thank you.